I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be getting out of friend zone. Well, this is all about how do you get yourself out of friend zone when a girl you may have been dating or sleeping with in the past, maybe through your bad behavior, or maybe you did something really stupid and you turned her off, and so she decided to stop sleeping with you in your sexual relationship and only consider you to be a friend. I got an email here from a guy that I guess I coached him a few years back, and he was dating a woman for a while, and I guess after that relationship ended, he started dating this woman. And it's interesting, even guys that achieve success, sometimes because they get, when they're, especially this is like interest level, blinds us guys to everything. It's amazing. We'll do everything right with our last 3 girlfriends, and the next one, just for whatever reason, she pushes our buttons, or she's got confidence and she is testing us in a way that we're normally not used to, or she senses a weakness, she tests us in that area. It's like we completely forget everything that we knew what to do right, because we really like the girl so much and we want things to work out, and that's why it's so hard to do the right thing. And that's why I stress with guys so much that they got to practice this stuff, so it literally becomes like breathing. Because what happens is, if you don't practice this stuff enough and you kind of just go about it half-assed and you're not really trying, and maybe you only interact with or go out on a handful of dates, well, when that happens, you're eventually going to run into a girl that just fucking knocks your socks off, and you just like sucks the air out of your lungs when she walks into the room, because you just desire her so much. And it's not I'm sure you felt that feeling before. Not every woman has that effect on you, even though there's lots of beautiful women everywhere. There are just some women that just have a certain something that affects you in a certain way. And when that happens, it's just hard to do things right if you've not prepared properly. And I would say that's part of the problem here with this guy, is that guys start using my stuff and they just jump right into a relationship with the first awesome chick that comes along, and they never really remain objective. They end up getting into a relationship, and it's not until that relationship ends that they realize, I really shouldn't have got all hung up on that girl. But at the end of the day, it's all a learning process, and you need to go at your own pace. He says, hey man, it's been a long time since we last spoke. Let me bring you up to speed. 2 years ago, after reading your book, I met this girl from work who was really into me. We'll call her Jenna. I did everything in the book, and we ended up fucking for a few months, and she certainly had strong feelings for me. At the same time, I was fucking this other girl who was fresh out of college and a lot more spontaneous and fun. I ended things with Jenna because I wasn't ready for a serious relationship, and I wish I met her later in life. And I would say, the bottom line is you guys had a good time, and that's the hard thing, is like for a lot of people that haven't had a lot of relationships or had a lot of girlfriends, it's like letting one relationship go and end so something new and better for you in this next chapter of your life can come into your life. But you got to create the space for them. And a lot of people struggle with letting go because it's been beat into their head like this one perfect person. And until you're at a place where you're really ready for that one perfect person, everybody else that comes along in your life prior to that point is really just practice and preparation to get you ready to help you grow into the person that you need to be in order to attract the kind of ideal woman, especially if you want to get married or have kids or start a family or something like that, because that's a long-term type of a relationship or something you want to spend the rest of your life with. He says, like an asshole, 2 months later, He says, like an asshole, 2 months later, I was in a relationship with the other girl, and Jenna was really heartbroken. We kept things civil and would still talk during work. I ended up getting a promotion and sent to a different department a few months later, and the new girl and I broke up. A few weeks later, on my birthday, I black out, drunk called Jenna at 4 a.m., begging her to come over. She obviously declined, and I texted her back a real malicious message about how I was glad I broke her heart. It's like, dude, that's just awful. Drunk dialing is just the worst way to go. And the next morning, I apologized and took her out of my phone. About 6 months later, I ran into her at work, and we talked a little. I told her I was a changed guy and that I was growing up. Later that night, in other words, you're basically trying to say, hey, I'm a better man now, please like me. You're seeking her approval with that kind of statement. Later that night, she sent me a Facebook message that said, I forgive you. I then asked her if she wanted to meet up for coffee and talk, and she was extremely resistant but finally agreed to meet. We met for coffee, and the conversation went real well. She said that she forgave me but didn't trust me and that we could only be friends. When a woman says that, just say, you're awesome and I think you're gorgeous, but I can't do just the friendship thing. That doesn't work for me. So if you change your mind, please give me a call. If you want to go out again, I'd love to see you. And you just leave it like that and you walk away. But you fucked up because you're seeking this girl's approval and you continued on. He says, since our conversation, we have walked her dog in the park, drank and watched movies at both of our places, and I cooked her dinner one night. During the movies, we were cuddling on the couch, and we're certainly not acting like friends. Well, were you kissing? Were you making out? Were you fooling around? You should have gone for them. If you were that close, you should have made a move on her and said, I just think you need to go over with and kiss me, and say something like that. She goes hot and cold, and always, and I would say probably because sometimes you're coming on strong and she feels attraction for you, but other times you don't take advantage opportunities that you have. And always says, it's like because you're kind of respecting her friend's boundary. Whereas, remember, the kid that flushes the M80 down the toilet, he's always going to try. Not constantly, but 10% of the time. He's going to do and say naughty things. And always says that it's not going to be more than friends. And she constantly is reiterating this, and you're ignoring this. But you're going along with it thinking, oh, well, she'll change her mind because I'm different. But sometimes she gives other signals. She knows I want to be more than friends, but she thinks I am just pursuing her because I'm bored and lonely and that I will leave her when I fix that. And that's an understandable, real fear that she has. But the fact is, she knows you want to be more than friends, but yet you're putting up with her friends-only agenda. And it's not working for you, is it? You got blue balls, right? Our last conversation happened via text, and she told me she couldn't hang out for a while because she was busy with work, grad school, her dad's birthday, and her sister's baby shower. This is bullshit because I still made time for her friends when I was working full-time and in grad school. And I would say because she's gotten bored with the fact that you're pursuing her and now you're trying to force something to happen. You got to realize the fact that this woman wants nothing to do with you but friendship, and yet you're just ignoring that like she's not saying it. Because you're doing all the chasing and all the pursuing here, and that's the problem. You ignored that, and so you got yourself all hung up on this chick that you blew it with, and you should have moved on. I decided I am not going to communicate with her unless she reaches out first. What are your thoughts? That's great. Do more of that. What is going through her mind? Probably not a lot. Or maybe she spent a lot of time with you, and maybe her feelings were starting to grow, and she thought, you know what, this is... Or maybe she's feeling like she could tell that you were getting more and more into her, and she figured, hey, you know what, it's probably not a good idea he and I spend time together because I have no interest in him other than just being a friend. It's hard to tell. And the only thing you could do at this point is you've chased her enough, and now you know that pursuing women over and over who are lukewarm and cold to you doesn't create attraction. So the only thing you can do at this point is to walk away. And if she reaches out to you, invite her to come over and make dinner and have a bottle of wine together, and then make your move at some point. Simple stuff. When you're talking to her, does she play with her hair? Does she do things like that? Does she reach over and touch your arm? Does she bump into you when you're in the kitchen making dinner together? Does she ask you who you're dating or what you're going? If so, she says, do you have a girlfriend yet, or are you dating? He's like, well, I just got room for one more. Want to go for another roll in the hay? Want to go have some indoor Olympics in my bedroom? You just playful. You throw shit out there and see what she's going to say with it. And if she's there and she likes you, she's going to laugh at you and think you're charming and funny. And if she's not interested, she'll probably want to end her time there and say, hey, I got to run or whatever. Let her go. Who cares? The thing is that you're hung up on a girl that you really got no chance with at this point. And so, like I said, walk away, and if she reaches out to you, invite her over to your place. Don't take her out. Don't spend any money on her. If she insists on you going out to dinner somewhere, Just say, hey, I've had a real busy week. I'm just in the mood to hang. So if you're not interested in coming over and making dinner with me, then we'll just have to get together some other time. Keep in touch. And just leave it like that and walk away. And she'll either come over and make dinner with you, and hopefully you'll seduce her, or she'll stop calling you. And either way, the main thing you need to focus on is meeting new women and going out with other women, because you've obviously spent quite a bit of time trying to be this girl's male girlfriend in hopes that even though you know that that strategy didn't work, because you liked this girl, you thought things would be different. And I talk about this in my book, and you come right up against the wall of reality here. And reality is that when you chase women and you go along with being friends only, you get absolutely fucking nowhere but a really bad case of blue balls. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website and click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, or your challenges. And just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is going to be to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by clicking the Products tab on the top of your screen on any page of my website, and just follow the instructions. And if you don't have my Amazon Kindle ebook yet, go to my website, and underneath the box that's underneath the email and newsletter sign-up box is the link to my Amazon Kindle page, and you can click on that. Make sure you download the free Kindle e-reader app and put it on all of your devices, and then that way when you're reading my book, whether you're reading on your smartphone or your iPad or your PC or your Mac, whether it's at work or any other computer, when you log into it, it will always have whatever was the last page that you read in it, so you never lose your place. And that way you always got it with you. It's a great way to do it. It only takes 60 seconds. I will talk to you soon.